Hey family, what's happening, man? This is PC here for your sermon recap, and I have with me the greatest, Pastor Ramone. Come on, Pastor Ramone, show him some love. How you doing?
What's going on, Think Kingdom family? What's good?
Look, we're here for your sermon recap once again, and I am enthralled from the message that we just heard this morning here at Think Kingdom. Pastor Ramone was dropping some fire. And of course, if you haven't already, follow us on Facebook. Remember to hit the bell. Subscribe to us on our YouTube page channel at Think Kingdom. Look, Pastor Ramone, can you just give us a quick snippet, real quickly, as an open intro on Esther, on what you opened up with this morning?
I think today in Esther, we've seen like a shift in the story. As the first three chapters, it was kind of just providing the setting, kind of like what's going on. And then we get the problem with the edict coming down and the enemy trying to take us out. And we see also in Esther 4, we see that the people of God look to God after trying to do things with their own solutions. Mm-hmm. I think this is a major shift too, because if we read the books of Ezra and Nehemiah, they actually come after Esther. So we see that with Esther making that turn to try to save the people of Israel, we see revival happen.
Come on.
So So I love looking at Esther, because we see Daniel is fervent in his devotion, but the people of God are not with him. And then we see in Esther, we see the people of God just compromising with the culture, trying to fit in, not identifying as the people of God. Mm-hmm. And then we see that shift when death is set upon them. And then they remember that we are the promised people, and that the promise comes through us. And the Messiah, if we are extinguished, and we try to do this on our own, we need God, you know? Mm-hmm. He is the one that's going to, even with their mistakes, that he is the ultimate cause, and what they do is just secondary.
I like the fact that God is like directing a screenplay. He's being Spike Lee for a moment. And I like how he's directed it. And you said something earlier in Matthew chapter 5 about the salt, that we are the salt of the world. Mm-hmm. Describing Matthew chapter 5 with being the salt of the world, culture describes salt a little differently. Mm-hmm. I want you to expound it. Culture defines salt as an hater, or someone who's slowing down my process, someone who's not feeling me, not feeling my vibe. But the Bible describes salt as someone to light up or to preserve. Expound on that.
For us to be salt, we're supposed to be enhancing the goodness and the truth and the beauty of God and culture. And us, as we are light, we are bringing moral truth, God's moral truth to the culture. And as we continue to do that, and we live and embody that in the culture, we actually preserving it from decaying further and further. Because it's not, we know what's going to happen if the culture follows this way. If they take salt's definition in that way, it's going to end up rotten.
That's it. For us to live sent in the divided land, we must first choose Christ over comfort. Pastor Ramone also opened this up with a few pointers for those of you who are taking notes. Comfort over Christ produces grief. Number 2, worship precedes mission. Proximity builds compassion. This is good. Christ over conference calls for faith, calls for decisions. I like that, Pastor Ramone. That was good stuff. That was really good stuff. It even impacts for my life as we get ready to close here, that even calls for compassion. Having Christ over comfort calls for my faith, and it calls for my decisions, because it draws me out to live on purpose. It draws me out to live intentional. It draws me out to make the right decision, to not live procrastinating or not to live stagnant, but I have to live on mission and to do exactly what God created me here to do. Not live for self, but to live for purpose. Look, this is a sermon recap. This is Pastor Ramone. Thanks for joining us here on our sermon recap.
Peace out, TK.
Hope to see you guys here at Think Kingdom here in person. And if not, as always, you can catch us here online. See you soon. Peace.